I rise today for two reasons, and they are separate and distinct, and I ask that they be separated in the record, if I may.
Objection.
Thank you, Madam President. First, I rise to protest an action by the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, that punish my state of Connecticut and 4 other states for effectively protecting our citizens against unfair and abusive mortgage foreclosure practices. And I want to say right at the outset, I am determined to fight this action along with my colleagues during the comment period that we have to contest this very unwise, misguided, unacceptable decision. These agencies have just posted for 60-day comment a decision to increase Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's guarantee fee for Connecticut and 4 other states, New Jersey, New York, Illinois, and Florida. Why? Because the protections that we have in place now against those abusive banking tactics that have so pervaded the mortgage foreclosure process increase the length of time that it sometimes takes for foreclosure, and we have a mediation process that keeps people in their homes and enables settlements that actually save money. That is Connecticut's crime. That is the reason that Connecticut and 4 other states and our homeowners will pay more in those guarantee fees. Those fees, by the way, are imposed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in exchange for assuming the risk that a loan will default. These entities guarantee investors in mortgages and mortgage-backed securities, making it less expensive and easier for home purchasers to obtain financing. The cost of the guarantee fund is generally passed along to the borrower. So homeowners will pay these increased fees. They will bear this burden, and it will be a burden not only on those homeowners, but eventually on the housing market, which is in all too slow, fragile recovery, and our economy, which depends so vitally on the housing market. I want to say I'm proud of Connecticut. I'm proud of every state, like Connecticut, that protects its homeowners from robo-signing or fraudulent affidavits. We believe in justice and due process. We believe in giving homeowners an opportunity to mediate with the banks, because so often the banks fail to come to the table. They, in effect, give homeowners the runaround. They fail often even to give them a person with whom to negotiate in good faith, and mediation forces them to come to the table. In 80% of the cases where there's mediation, homeowners stay in their homes. And that saves money for other homeowners in the neighborhood because their property values are maintained. It saves money for the homeowner who doesn't have to find a place to live and maybe even buy another house. And it saves money for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. In fact, every time they avoid a foreclosure, they save, on average, at least $11,000. And that is the kind of saving they ought to relish, not reject. This foreclosure process around the country has raised, rightly, fears of abuses that Connecticut has sought to prevent, and this kind of protection ought to be rewarded, not rejected. From the moment families take out a loan, they are faced with fees and charges that we ought to seek to minimize so that we expand and enlarge and continue the recovery in our housing market while preventing unnecessary and illegal foreclosures. So I am determined to fight this fee, I will enlist help from other colleagues who have already indicated their opposition, and I believe that together we will succeed in persuading Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac that this increase in fee is misguided, unwise, and unacceptable.